Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Let's Play Metroid Prime. I'm Paradigm Gamer. Actually, I'm going to briefly go in here. There might be a certain piece of scan lore. No. Alright. Sorry about that, but no, there's a piece of important exposition in there. There's actually a bit of foreshadowing to a certain boss that's coming up. If you glance at these orange things on the wall, so I was hoping I might be able to find it, but, you know, I don't exactly know where or remember where it is, so, you know, anyway, as promised, we're going to be heading into this interesting new door over here. I always wondered why those bridges were out. Now, important thing to understand, first enemy you see in here is a space pirate, and this is an actual one. Kind of weird though, it's a shadow pirate. Pirate forces trained and equipped for stealth operations. A select group of space pirates have access to sophisticated cloaking technology. This gear drains high levels of power, however, forcing them to rely solely on melee weapons in battle. Use enhanced detection gear when fighting these units. But it doesn't even use its cloaking. And it like you, or sorry, it like gangs up on you and like pushes you into a... It's just like the first pirate you see in here isn't even like a regular one. It's a shadow pirate, but it doesn't even use its cloaking technology, so I don't know, I just thought that was weird. And this little scene with the drone, I don't know, it's just one of those moments that you always remember. And I also like how they have those little barricades. It's like, this is war, goddammit. Anyway, these are regular-ass pirates. Space pirates, sentient aggressor species well trained in melee weapon and melee combat. Space pirates wield galvanic accelerator cannons and forearm mounted sights in combat. This species seeks to become the dominant force in the galaxy, and their technology may help them realize this goal. Ruthless and immoral, the pirates care little for the cost of their ambition, only the results matter, and they take these very seriously. So yes. Now, interesting strategy that you can use at this point in the game. You can stun it with a fully charged wave beam shot. That'll keep them from moving and shooting at you, and then one missile will be enough to take them out afterwards. That's why I recommend taking care of them at this point in the game. It's, you know, the most effective, at least for now. Over here, now I don't know if this works for, it makes me wonder. I'm going to use this right here. This is the map station. I like how those little screens show up in front of Samus. Yep, maps. Now, does it... yes. It was as I thought. It doesn't show you the entirety of Phendrana. So, yeah, there isn't actually a map station that shows you everything in Phendrana. Even though I've played Metroid Prime 1 tons of times, it's not like Super Metroid, where I know, like, everything about it, just because I've played it that many times. You know, Super Metroid is a shorter game, which is one of the reasons why it's my favorite, actually. That's a review, though. That game is getting its own review. I can't just... I would like to do a playthrough, though, but yeah, again, another S-shaped room. Looks just like the other ones. Could we have thought of a more interesting shape? Like, some of these S rooms are different looking, sort of, in design, but most of them just look like that, and it's just like, oh, I gotta go through a room that looks like this again? We couldn't have made anything more interesting looking, but yeah. Enough complaining about that. This room right here. Okay, so spoiler warning. There's more than one pirate base in this game. And you see this room right here? It's just like a sort of box-shaped room with catwalks on it, and then what the pirates also like to do is they like to hang from the ceiling and drop down and surprise motherfucker you, but if you've played the game before, you know where they're coming from. Get used to this, because if there's anything in this game that's more common than the S-shaped rooms, it's this. Like, I swear, every two rooms in the freaking pirate bases look like this. Every two rooms, there's like a room filled with catwalks and platforms and a bunch of monitors all over the place. It's a little too common, if you ask me. But before we move on, I wanted to take care of all the enemies first. There's a metric but fuck ton of lore in this room. Starting over here. Pirate data. Our initial tests exposing Talon 4's indigenous parasites to Phazon appear to be successful. Increases in strength, size, and aggressiveness are common in all test subjects, as well as unforeseen evolutions like additional poison sacs within the abdomen and the appearance of a second ring of mandibles in several subjects. These creatures were chosen because of their resilience, and it appears possible that given enough exposure to Phazon, they may one day be able to survive on any planet we transport them to. Our methods will have to be refined. We currently have a 100% extinction rate after the 4th infusion period, and most survivors at the 3rd infusion stage are so violent and uncontrollable that they have to be euthanized. Even still, we remain hopeful that further experimentation will result in success. So again, the Pirates Bioengineering Program, 3 more of them, and I think there's another one on the top floor. Most terraforming and retrofitting of security checkpoints in Talon 4 is complete, but we continue to research the alarming epidemic of breaches by local creatures. Door records show no unauthorized entries, so we must presume the creatures are either slipping in undetected during daily personnel moves, or else finding their way in through subterranean tunnels. We have found many small breaches of this latter sort and can plug them wherever we can, but it is unlikely that we will ever achieve full extermination within our current timetable. Over here is more. Sorry that there's so much of this at once, but what you gonna do? Mining operations have begun near the crater where Phazon appears to be most concentrated. Daily Phazon yields have increased 44%, and our mining system becomes more streamlined as personnel and equipment flows increase. Several incidents of Phazon-induced madness have been reported, prompting augmented life support regulations in the deeper chambers. Symptoms include loss of equilibrium, erratic respiration, muscle spasms, and in the most extreme cases, hallucinations. Timeline reassessment for the refinery operation is recommended, as the material proved more unstable than initial analysis indicated. Oh, that's a mouthful. We have codified the newfound energy source as Phazon, a V-index mutagen of which we have very little reliable data. Indications point to a meteor of unknown origin, sound familiar, expelling Phazon into the environment. This material appears to possess the power to mutate organic life forms sufficiently to withstand its poison. These mutations appear promising, with abrupt evolutionary leaps appearing in single-generation reproduction. Plans to establish a full science team on Talon 4 are being finalized. Ah, Jesus Christ. It's fun reading these things when you're playing by yourself, but, you know, when there are like 4 of them all at once, and you're doing a full playthrough with people watching you. Oy. I don't think there are any on those. There's one back there. This is the last one for a while, thank Christ. Research Outpost Glacier 1 in the Phendrana Drifts region of Talon 4's mountains is operating at 85% capacity. Sub-zero temperatures have made the Metroid sluggish and easy to control, even those well into Phazon infusion cycles. Cold containment stasis tanks are sufficient for juveniles, but some of the larger Metroids have been moved to quarantined caves for safety purposes. Security doors remain an issue, as malfunctions due to ice occur every day. Large predators in the waste are also concerned as they continue to kill personnel and breach secure areas. Unfortunately, it has become clear that our containment teams cannot neutralize all of them with a vast increase in munitions and soldiers. Yep, that's the last one. So, yeah. So, there's kind of an, I guess, association between this great poison that the Chozo were talking about and this Phazon that the pirates are talking about. Yes, that is the official name for the great poison, Phazon Energy. And it's kind of like the consistent plot thread of the Metroid Prime trilogy. I hope that that's not spoiling too much, but, you know, it has its importance in the first game's story, but it becomes even more important in the third game. And it does show up somewhat in the second game. It makes me wonder, like, when this game was being developed, it was, like, completely unknown whether this was going to be a success or not. Oh, it makes me wonder if they actually had the story of the trilogy planned out in advance, or if, like, well, if this game does well, we'll do a sequel, and then we'll do this and this and this. It makes me wonder if they had this all planned out to begin with, or if they just sort of saw, oh, this game sold well, alright, let's do more. Is this lore? Oh my god, there's 2 more of them. Scans of the Spiral Sector detected a massive energy spike emanating from a Wanderer-class planet identified as Talon 4. Scout reconnaissance was immediately dispatched to the center of the spike, and landmass at heading mark blah blah blah, returning with planetary samples and atmospheric imaging. Analysis shows the energy source to be an unstable radioactive material of enormous potential. We are unable to form an accurate risk assessment at this time, but we are unlikely to find an energy source this powerful again. Analysis will continue, but currently Talon 4 appears to be a viable secondary headquarters. Phazon mining is underway. Several garrisons have been established, and terraforming of the Chozo ruins is underway. Security systems are operational, and science team continues to make progress in their biotech research. The Phendrana drifts have proven to be an optimal location for research headquarters, and soon it will be joined by a fully operational combat base in Starport. If Command's predictions are half true, we shall rise to dominance in this sector within a decacycle. Truly, these are glorious times. I'm going to scan this here. And now, we have a big puzzle, so I guess I have time to kind of bring some thoughts in about something. The Space Pirates. We've already noticed here that they do not look like the Space Pirates of yore. They do not look like those crab guys from Super Metroid anymore. And I don't know why that is, but from what I can understand, from having read all the lore in the trilogy and from, just being a Metroid fan in general and picking up on these facts wherever I can, it seems to me that the Space Pirates are a multiracial organization of some kind. Either that, or this is not the first time that they've done bioengineering experiments on space pirates. I mean, it's entirely possible that the crabs, that the more fish-looking guys that are in this game... Hold on a moment. Get in there, you son of a bitch. The fish-looking guys that are in this game are just mutated versions of the crab guys that you see in most of the other games. Either that, or both the crabs and the fish-looking guys are both just part of a multiracial organization, and the fish guys just happen to be the ones that are here. Or Retro completely fucked up when they drew character designs, and that's just happened to be what is here. But the understanding I have, just based on playing these games a million times, is that the Space Pirates indeed are a multiracial, multi-ethnic organization. So, that brings a very interesting question, and as we can see there, that they're pretty fucking smart guys. Like, they have coordinated efforts, they have status reports, they can use technology, they can build bases, they can analyze things. But then you play Other M, and then acts like they're just a singular race of aliens from Zebes, which is completely untrue. It's just like, Samus is like, it's a Zebesian. No, it's not. First of all, this is planet Zebes itself. Planet's crust is primarily earthic ore, making it ideal for subterranean construction. Class 19 planet, Zebes is inhospitable to most bioforms. The world was considered unremarkable until it became a base for space pirate forces, which completely ignores the fact that it was a Chozo planet. That's unremarkable, and this right here is planet Talon 4, where we are, the planet that we're currently on. Ecosystem studies indicate that Talon 4 was a biological paradise prior to the impact of an extraterrestrial object. What remains of the biosphere is slowly fading due to exposure to phazon radiation. At current rate of decay, Talon 4 will be a barren Class 13 wasteland in approximately 25 years. But it's just like, Other M just like completely shoots everything that the Prime Trilogy did in the ass, saying that the Space Pirates are one race, that they're a bunch of mindless douchebags, and it was only because, if I can remember correctly, it was only because Mother Brain was controlling them with her telepathy that they were able to do anything. Something along those lines. I might be mistaking it slightly, and I'm sure that someone will tell me in the comments, but it's just like, I hate that about Other M. Like, did they... And, like, the worst part is, the person at Nintendo of America that helped localize these games, his name is Nate Bildorf. He wrote the scan entries for Metroid Prime 1. Everything right here, he wrote that. Access to Control Tower granted. So how the hell did he not know that what Sakamoto was writing in Metroid Other M was wrong? And he claims to be a huge Metroid fan too, so he probably played the other two as well, even though he didn't write the scan lore for them. So how the hell did he screw that up? How did he not call him out on that? They're not called Zebesians, they're space pirates. In fact, space pirates aren't even from Zebes. Zebes was a Chozo planet that wasn't even a Chozo planet. They colonized it too. So, like, ugh. Now I'm just complaining about nothing. I know that it's a little early, but... You know what? I'll go a little longer. I'm going to show off something that I didn't talk about because I was too busy complaining about the space pirates. This is the super missile. And remember how earlier I said that the charge beam was going to become important for other reasons later? Each beam in the game, as you can see, there are 4 of them. Each beam in the game has a charge combo in which you use a charge shot and combine it with some missiles to make a more powerful attack. And for the charge beam, for the power beam, it is the super missile. So unlike, say, Super Metroid or Metroid Zero Mission, super missiles do not have their own ammo in this game, which is kind of a blessing and a curse. For one thing, I find that these weapons are really satisfying to use, like completely just annihilating enemies. That's fun as hell. I love it. But at the same time, why don't they have their own ammo? I mean, like, I wasn't using super missiles all the time in, like, the other 2D games. Like, in fact, I would go on record saying as I use them more here than I do in any of the 2D games, but, you know, at the same time, it's like, why don't they have their own ammo? Why did they choose to format them this way? It's even worse in Other M, where there aren't even, like, other charge combos, but, you know, but I digest. But I digest! Anyway, we've made a lot of progress in this part. We're a good chunk of the way through the base here. We have plenty more left to go, ladies and gentlemen, so before we, you know, move on in the area, I think it'd be wise to save the rest of this base for another part. So, until then, I'm X Paradigm Gamer, and I'll see you guys next time.